So good morning, everyone. I want to thank Mayor Garcia for allowing us to take this time just to understand there are a lot of people who are intimidated right now. There are a lot of our youth that are about to head back to school. There are a lot of folks who are afraid to go to church. There are a lot of people afraid to even go to the grocery store, go outside and play, go to see another neighbor, go to see family and loved ones. So I asked Mayor Garcia if we could do something to at least educate the community on their rights when it comes to ICE. Many folks who wanted to come out today, some are here, but some are not because they are afraid that when they walk back outside the doors, they will not make it back home safely. So we're here today because last week ICE came into our community and disrupted two areas. They went into our Haitian community and they made an arrest there. They were on Bayard Street in our Latino community and they attempted to make an arrest, but some of the people there knew more about their rights. Because they knew their rights, the arrest was not made, but they are disrupting the community. I was told that they came out with battering rams. That's completely illegal. And we need to make sure that everybody understands what are your rights when it comes to whether you have to comply or not comply when it comes to ICE. So there's something called the McKinney-Vito Homeless Act. You want to read that, Mayor? The McKinney-Vito Homeless Assistance Act is a U.S. federal law that ensures homeless children and youth have equal access to a free, appropriate public education and other needed services. Key provisions include immediate school enrollment, the right to attend their school of origin or current school, transportation assistance, comparable services to other students, and the removal of enrollment barriers. The Act also mandates local liaisons to support students and connect families to resources like housing and health services. So I'm going to invite the mayor to come up here and I'm going to ask him to expound upon some of the rights that we have, and especially when it comes to our police, what our police are supposed to do, what they're not supposed to do, and then whatever else he wants to share with you when it comes to how we best protect ourselves in the community. We also want to talk about, I'm going to invite Roberto Hernandez to come up at one point, and then in a moment I'm going to also invite Minusha to come up so they can interpret the Red Laws. The Red Law Acts for those in both Spanish and in Creole, since those are communities that are being most greatly impacted. So now I yield the floor to Mayor Garcia.
Thank you, Councilwoman. I want to thank you for coming into City Hall to learn about this issue. But what I can't stress enough is that Trenton is a welcoming community. If you're here to raise a family, to contribute to our economy, to be a good neighbor, we are all for you. That means taking part in your neighborhood, being considerate, not blasting the radio, putting out the garbage on the right days, and being engaged in your children's learning. But if you choose crime, there are consequences, and we will not stand in the way of enforcement. At the same time, everyone has rights. If ICE comes to your door, remember, you do not have to open it unless you are shown a warrant signed by a judge. Not a civil warrant, but a judge signed a warrant signed by a judge. You have the right to remain silent, and you have a right to a lawyer. Protect yourself and your family by knowing your rights and using them. So again, if ICE does come to your door, they should have a judicial warrant. They should also identify themselves so there is a record. You have a right to videotape the scene, and you have a right to a lawyer. Also, you should know that our police department, the Trenton Police Department, is under Attorney General guidance called the Immigration Trust Directive. We are not to collaborate with ICE unless there is a criminal activity part of that element. So while the lines may be blurred, please be aware that Trenton Police do not ask for one's identification or national origin. We're there strictly to maintain the peace and the order of the neighborhood. So please, know your rights, talk to a friend, make sure that your presence is always known, that your family knows where you are, and that you have a right to a lawyer. Thank you very much.
So thank you, Mayor. So now I'm going to ask Roberto Hernandez to come up, and he's going to give a little bit more information, and then I'm going to come back and talk to you about the families and the schools as well, whatever he does not cover when it comes to how to best protect yourselves. Mr. Hernandez.
Good morning, everyone. Buenos dias.
Yes.
And I don't know how to say it in French. Can somebody tell me to say it in French?
Bonjour.
Okay. Thank you. This is not an issue for the left or for the right. This is a human rights issue. So I think what we need to begin to focus on, how as a community are we going to start bringing ourselves together? And if you just bear with me for a few seconds, I got something I want to read. First they came for the communists, and I did not speak because I was not a communist. Then they came for the socialists, and I did not speak because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unions, and I did not speak because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. Something that we need to keep in mind. We have the rights, and Mayor Reed spoke briefly about it, our Fourth Amendment rights, our Fifth Amendment rights, Fifth Amendment rights. Of course, everybody's seen these Perry Mason movies. I plead the Fifth. That is, you do not have to open the door, you do not have to say a thing, okay? Search and seizure, Fourth Amendment, where people cannot come in and just break into your home simply because they want to break into your home. If either a judge or a magistrate, that warrant has to be signed by them before they go in. So what I would like to say is that during the next few weeks, and I have been doing this for a while, at El Centro we will be having workshops for people to know exactly what their rights are. I will be bringing in some Haitian speakers. I will bring in some Latino speakers to discuss this. We have a very big Haitian population at El Centro Catholic Charities that come, hard-working immigrants that come to learn the language. You know, people that, oh, they don't want to assimilate. That's not true. You have to give them the opportunity to assimilate. You have to give them the tools necessary for them to be successful. And they will be productive citizens of our communities. They just need the opportunity. Well, one thing I will share with you, particular, and I don't like to say undocumented, because we're all documented somewhere, whether it be in our country of origin or whether it be here in the United States. There's something that says who we are. So that's there. So you can't. I say foreign nationals. Okay, we're foreign nationals. So people that maybe not have been born in this country. What I'm going to ask folks is, there needs to be a certain responsibility on our part as well. Particularly our young folks. You can't be walking around drunk. You can't be driving cars that don't have no registration, don't have the... You're asking for trouble. You can't be double parked somewhere. Because if you have someone that really has an itchy finger, they're going to go after you. So please, let's talk to folks in our community. The other thing that I think is important is the power of attorney. Now, there are some times that you may be detained. They may go pick you up. What's going to happen to your children? Who's going to take care of your children? So, I'll say El Centro because we do it there. You can come, you go to the county courthouse, pick up an application, bring it to El Centro, we'll do it free of charge for you. You'll have some peace of mind. It's like having a will, right? What happens when I die to my 1965 Mustang? You know, somebody's going to want it. But you want this particular person to have it because you trust them, you care about them, you know they'll follow through. Well, that's what the apparent attorney is going to say. Listen, if I get detained, my sister is going to take care of my children. This is her name, blah, blah, blah. You give that to her in case you get detained. Now, should you give it to anyone? No. Should you give it to someone that's a criminal? Probably not a good idea. Okay? Should you give it to someone that's maybe here As a foreign national, probably not a good idea. So be selective as to who you're going to give it to. So those are a couple things that I kind of wanted to, reiterate. I'm sure you've heard them all, but I just want to say one thing before I leave, if I may. I will. God is good, okay? God is good, and God will protect us. But there were some things that I remember my father and my mom telling me a long time ago. God helps those who help themselves, okay? So we just can't sit and say, what's up, God? God's like, well, what are you going to do, So we got to be proactive, okay? We have to make sure that we as a community start coming together. It's not about being Latino, it's not about being Haitian, it's not about being Eastern European or whatever the case may be. It's about what are we going to do together, collectively, to empower ourselves to make our communities stronger and better. The blend of our communities where our strength lies. And sometimes we get a little crazy. Oh, I'm not going to go over there. There are a bunch of Latinos. I'm not going to go over there. We got to stop that. That's got to stop. We've been through this along. And if you look at the history of our country, it has been successful only when we come together as a group. Now, I'll share with you, as the Councilwoman Frisbee said, the address is, our central is 327 South Broad Street, right down the street, Trenton, New Jersey. It's right there next to Sacred Heart Church. There's a facility. That's interesting because that church has such a history. It has a history as being one of the first African-American churches and still has a very big Haitian and African community that goes to that church and holds it as a parish. Go there. It started with Irish immigrants, where they had settlement houses. Settlement houses is kind of what we do in Central, where people learn how to speak English, when they begin to learn about what's happening in the culture of the United States. So we are continuing with that tradition. Be careful out there with a lot of folks that say they are immigration work. Everybody doesn't do. My office is certified by the Department of Justice to do immigration law. And we do it, and we do it well, and we charge a minimal amount of money. When somebody says, listen, I'll do your power of attorney for $500, look at them like they're crazy. It costs about $25 to do it. About $25. And we don't even charge. We want to give us a donation fund. So those are little things that we can do and be proactive to try to take care of ourselves and take care of families. So I'm done, Councilwoman. Anything else I can share? That's weird.
So thank you for that, Mr. Hernandez. And I'm going to actually stick around just for a couple more minutes. One of the things some of the things I wanted to give to the families, and Roberto hit on it quite a bit. Seek out legal advice. That's really important. Find a reputable community organization that the families can go to. Family members have a plan of action if you are detained by ICE. It's not all about the community preparing for you. You also have to prepare yourself. You have to prepare your homes. Know who's going to be the caregiver for your child or your children if you are detained. Where are the important documents that you need? Where are your children's birth certificates? Where are their passports? Know where those are. And let your children or someone who is going to take care of your child, make sure they know where they are. Where is the child going to go after school? If you send them off to school and they come home and you're not there because you're detained, have a plan of action. Who's going to be there? Who should be there? Who should be contacted? The schools, I'm told that the schools have an action plan. That is absolutely fantastic. We want to know what are the steps that you're going to take. Who's the point of contact if I should show up at the school? What information are the schools required and not required to give? What questions do they ask? before they open the doors, and that's the same thing at home. Ask questions before you open the door, and we're going to get to those in just a minute. We have to figure out how to not only protect our students, but let our students know that they are being thought of. School's about to start next year. We want our students to all go to school. We want them to know it is okay to go to school, that we have plans in motion right now to protect them. And we want them to be at peace. We don't want them to be distracted, worrying about whether or not someone's going to be outside the door, someone's going to walk up to their classroom and take them out, pull them out. That's not going to happen. There are protocols that are set in motion right now. And again, who's the liaison? Who's going to be sitting at the table? Have a liaison sitting at the table. Prepare that person. Know who that person is going to be if you should be detained, if your family is in need of one. And the last thing I want to talk about is a red card. And Roberto has the red cards in Spanish, but we're also going to get them in Creole as well. And I'm going to read it to you in English, and then I'm going to have it interpreted in Spanish and in Creole. The red card says you have constitutional rights. Do not open the door if any immigration agent is knocking on the door. Do not answer any questions from an immigration agent if they try to talk to you. You have the right to remain silent. Do not sign anything. Don't sign anything without first speaking to a lawyer. You have a right to speak with a lawyer. If you are outside of your home, and this is big because this is for a lot of folks, they're afraid to go out. If you are outside of your home, ask the agent if you are free to leave. And if they say yes, calmly leave. Don't run, calmly leave. Give this card to the agent. If you are inside your home, show them the card through a window or slide it underneath the door. And I have it printed out on little slips of paper, but we actually have some of the red cards here, and we have them again in Spanish and in Creole for you to give to the agent so they understand that you know your rights, that you understand that you have rights. Tell them I do not wish to speak with you and answer your questions or sign or hand you any documents based on my Fifth Amendment rights under the United States Constitution. I do not give you permission to enter into my home based on my Fourth Amendment rights under the United States Constitution, unless you have a warrant, as the mayor said, to enter that is signed by a judge or magistrate with my name on it, and then slide it under the door. Tell them I do not give you permission to search any of my belongings based on my Fourth Amendment right. I choose to exercise my constitutional rights, and these cards are available to citizens and non-citizens alike. So now I'm going to ask Roberto if he would come back up with the red card and to read it exactly what I just read in English, if you will read it in Spanish, and then I'm going to ask it to be read in Creole so folks understand it in their dialect. And you're going to have to hold this. I'll hold it for you.
No, that's okay. I'll get this. I got it. We're gonna have to get the mayor come here and invest in the microphone. I don't know. So basically what I'm gonna try to do, this is the red card, which many folks that have been probably detained or whatever, you can get these online, you can make copies of them. It's really not so much that it's a red card, but it's nice when you, if you do get stopped and they see you have an official card, that means that you have kind of had conversations with folks that understand the law. So I'm going to leave as many as I can here. I'll have some Creole ones available to Councilwoman Frisbee, if not today, by tomorrow, to give her some as well. I just have the English and the Spanish version. I'll get the English and the Creole version. Usted tiene derechos. No abra la puerta si ningún agente de inmigración está tocando la puerta. Anybody knocking at your door, you do not have to open the door. No conteste ninguna pregunta, do not answer any question de un agente of an agent of immigration. Si él trata de hablar con usted, if he tries to talk to you, you do not have to. Usted tiene un derecho de mantenerse callado. What I have, and I want to say something once I finish here. It's about rights, if I can. No tienen no firme nada, do not sign anything. Si antes de hablar con un abogado, please discuss anything that you want to discuss. Do not sign anything with your attorney. Let's see. Entréguese esta. Please give this card to an agent. Si usted está dentro de su casa, if you're inside your home, muestras la tarjeta, you can put it through the window, you can put it under the door, you can give it. You do not, I would never open the door, never. Slide it under the door, that's the case may be. One of the things that I neglected to say that I want to share with you is that they try to say that people that are here in this country are foreign nationals do not have the right. Well, let me tell you something. As soon as your 2 feet touch this ground, you are allowed due process. As soon as, I don't care if you're a child, you could be an adult, a man, a woman, whatever the case may be. As soon as you hit this ground, you have rights to due process. They just can't take you away. Okay, you have those rights, and we express some of those rights. Now, you'll have to answer questions when you go to court, because it'll be in front of a judge and a magistrate. But prior to that, you do not have to answer nothing. So, again, I want to leave you with the fact that you have rights. Okay? People say you do not have. No, you're in this country, you have rights. You said that. I'm sorry.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Manushka Dilsley. I go by Dr. D. I am a physician by trade. So I was invited here by our city council, Mrs. Frisbee, just to be representing my Haitian community here. So I'm going to be reading this in Creole to my Haitian folks. Bonjour tout le monde, capitaine nous, surtout pour Haïtien pareil nous, il y a un cadre rouge que moi je dis. Ma traduit en créole pour le capitaine. Ça basé sur la immigration, il est écrit pour nous pour connaître les droits que nous gagnons pour le Haïtien par exemple. Je vais commencer pour nous. Il dit si un officier immigration vient frapper porte nous, pas ouvrir porte là, ou bien pas ouvrir porte là. Si un officier immigration essaye de parler avec nous, pas répondre. Ou bien droit pour dire ou pas dire rien, ou bien droit pour rester en silence et ni travail non. Si dans le travail, si vous venez dans le travail, moi je dis au officier d'immigration, si vous allez pour si il dit oui, déplacez. Ou pas de droit pour parler avec, ou bien droit pour parler avec un avocat. Montrer quatre ça, c'est quatre pour ça, il va le présenter le plusieurs côtés dans Haïtien, communauté handicap rouge. Je dis nous sommes capables de montrer mon ça et pas jamais ouvrir pour aucun mot. Merci. Thank you.
So that's going to conclude for today, and I hope that helps to give a little bit more detail to what your rights are. That you actually, everyone that is in this United States, you have rights. And our children, we are making sure that you feel comfortable when you go to school, when you go to church, when you go out to play. We cannot have our children afraid to go outside and play. We don't want them paranoid so they can't even study and concentrate on what is being taught in the classrooms. So I ask everybody to please share this. Please share this video so that you can share it online. People who are afraid to come out of their doors are not afraid to look on social media. So please share it. It may not affect you, but it may affect someone that is in your community, someone who may be attached to someone else, someone who doesn't have this information but can get it through this online video. So I ask you to please share it, share it, share it. We're going to come back and we're going to revisit this hopefully in about 2 weeks. I'm going to ask the AG's office to come out here and ask them also to give more information on this. This is not a knee-jerk to say the action, but seeing what happened to our people last week, seeing tears streaming down eyes, seeing houses just turned upside down. Parents just at a crossroads. They don't know what to do. They know what they want to do. They know they can't live their life because they feel like they're paralyzed. We don't want our community to be paralyzed. We want everybody to live in peace And we know that there are folks that are here that are doing things that they're not supposed to. We want them to be processed by the law. But for those that are here and they're making a positive contribution to our community, we want them to be left alone. We want them to be able to live peacefully, and we want everybody to live in harmony. And above all, we want our children to not be paranoid. We want them to go to school this school year and have an incredible time. We want the parents to be at peace, knowing that when they send their children off to school, that they're going to receive them back home from school, and they're going to be the ones that are receiving them. So I thank you, and I hope this has helped someone, and I ask you again, please share it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.